Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling a really interesting bunch of reports, all centered around how robots are becoming more, intertwined with our jobs and our daily routines.
Yeah, we've got some great stuff lined up. We've gathered material from TechCrunch, The Guardian, Google's own blog, and Tech Explorer, all really fresh May 2025 stuff.
Hot off the press.
Exactly. And there's also a rundown from a new segment, AI Deep Dive, which kind of summarizes some of these pieces.
Right. So our mission today, for you listening, is to really dig into these sources. We want to pull out the key insights, what's actually happening with automation, how it's changing things.
And maybe offer a clearer picture. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's jump right in. First up, Amazon.
Ah, yes. The TechCrunch piece on Amazon's new robot, Vulcan. It definitely caught my eye. Seems like a pretty big step in warehouse tech.
It does.
Yeah.
And the main pitch from Amazon, it seems, is worker safety, making those really physically tough jobs a bit easier.
Right. Vulcan's specifically designed for those tasks that put a strain on people reaching way up high or bending down low all the time. That's what they're saying.
But it's not just about replacement, is it? They're talking collaboration.
Exactly. That's the fascinating angle here. The article describes the scenario where, humans and Vulcan work side by side almost.
So humans handle the middle shelves,
Yeah, the middle shelves and maybe items that Vulcan finds tricky. It's not this picture of like total robotic takeover. Not immediately, anyway.
and they're also retraining people. Both TechCrunch and AI Deep Dive mention that.
That's right. A program to retrain warehouse staff to become robot technicians. It suggests they're, well, trying to prepare their workforce for this shift.
Which is good, but TechCrunch also points out it's probably not a simple one-for-one job swap, right?
Definitely not. You won't necessarily need the same number of technicians as, say, pickers, whose roles might change. It's more complex.
And there's that bigger economic picture, too. The World Economic Forum prediction mentioned in the article.
Oh, yeah, huge numbers, like 92 million jobs displaced by tech trends, but potentially 170 million new ones created.
A massive reshuffle. And TechCrunch speculates about these new human-in-the-loop roles, a bit like,
The people overseeing self-checkouts now.
exactly, kind of automation monitors.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder what those jobs actually involve day to day.
It really does. It points towards maybe more supervisory roles, making sure these systems run smoothly. But, TechCrunch also included that bit about Amazon Go.
Oh, right, the just walkout tech. They had to scale back.
Yeah, it turns out they still needed a lot of human reviewers back in India to make it work properly.
It's a good reality check, isn't it? That even really advanced automation isn't always a perfect, simple fix.
Precisely. Human input can still be absolutely crucial, maybe for accuracy or cost or just weird edge cases.
So when we think about these potential new jobs, these automation monitors, it kind of begs the question, what totally new roles might appear that we can't even imagine yet?
It's a really interesting space to watch. So many possibilities.
Agreed. Okay, let's pivot now. Completely different direction. Swarm robotics. This feels a bit more out there.
Yeah, maybe the bit. Our sources here are Tech Explorer, and again, that summary from AI Deep Dive.
And what's really groundbreaking about this Harvard Seoul National University system is the lack of central control. Rob.
Exactly. That's the key innovation. These aren't complex individual robots. They operate without needing, high precision sensors or a central brain directing everything.
Inspired by nature, like schools of fish.
Right. They call them link bots, and they're basically just simple V-shaped particles linked together.
Simple design, but complex behavior emerges.
That's the idea. It's the mechanical constraints, the physical connections between them that allow them to move, explore, even transport objects together. It's collective intelligence.
Wow. And the examples they give, like navigating tight spaces.
Yeah, or multiple bots cooperating to lift something. Imagine them in, say, a collapsed building.
That's a powerful image.
And Tech Explore really highlights those potential uses. Disaster response is a big one, logistics and rough terrain, maybe even environmental monitoring across large areas.
It's one of those aha moments, isn't it? How such simple rules or simple components can lead to really complex, useful outcomes.
It definitely challenges how we usually think about robots needing to be individually complex.
Okay, so shifting gears again.
Let's bring it back down to earth a bit, or down to the sidewalk. Delivery robots.
Right. The Guardian article focuses on Australia, where things seem to be moving a bit slower compared to other places.
Yeah, AI Deep Dive mentioned this too. The Guardian points out they're pretty common now in the UK. Milton Keynes gets a shout out, and parts of Europe. the U.S.
Sweden, Finland, California, often partnering with Uber Eats, DoorDash, companies like Serve Robotics and Coco.
So why the hesitation in Australia? The Guardian says it's mainly legal and safety concerns.
Yeah, it sounds like a bit of a regulatory tangle. A legal minefield, as one expert put it. Christine Eldridge from Shine Lawyers compared it to the situation with e-scooters, right? Existing laws don't quite cover them.
Exactly. That uncertainty makes it tricky for companies, and it's not like they haven't tried.
That Australia Post trial back in 2017, the robotic parcel locker,
Yeah, but it needed a human escort and only carried one parcel. Not really scalable.
but there is some optimism. Hussein Daya from Swinburne University thinks upcoming rules for autonomous vehicles might help.
He does. He suggests regulations expected around 2026 could pave the way, and he points to positive safety data from overseas trials.
And the potential benefits are pretty clear. Professor Michael Bell at University of Sydney talking about less pollution, less traffic.
Lower labor costs, too, especially for those inner-city deliveries. It makes a lot of sense on paper.
And there's local innovation happening too. Monash University's RE robot.
Right. Designed for defined areas like campuses. And what's cool is it uses local sensors like cameras, not constant internet.
Plus those temperature-controlled sections. That's clever.
Yeah, Shrebaga and John Bowie highlighted that. Hot pizza, frozen ice cream, even medicines, all in one trip. That's a real step up.
Of course, there's still the human factor. Hussein Daya mentioned public behavior.
Uh-huh. How people will actually interact with these things on the street. That's always a variable.
So it really makes you wonder, could these little bots delivering your dinner become normal soon? What are the kind of social hurdles?
Yeah, what does that look like day to day? It's fascinating. Okay, one more shift. Let's look at how AI is changing information itself. Google search.
Right, the updates to Google Search AI mode, this is straight from their blog, and AI DeepDive covered it too.
The big thing seems to be making it smoother to switch between, classic results and this AI chat interface. More conversational searching.
And it does more than just chat. Real-time summaries of news articles. Personalized research suggestions.
Yeah, and it's rolling out globally this month, May 2025. It's already available to all Labs users in the US.
So people can start playing with it.
And it lets you ask longer, harder questions, apparently. Plus follow-ups to really dig deeper.
They've also got those new visual cards for places and products. Lots more info up front.
Things like ratings, reviews, opening hours, even real-time prices and whether something's in stock locally, the example they gave.
Finding vintage furniture stores with live busyness info. That's pretty specific.
It is. And they've added that feature on desktop, the left side panel, to help you track past searches and AI summaries, picking up where you left off.
Seems useful for research. And they're testing a dedicated AI mode tab for some users outside labs too.
Yeah, a small percentage in the US suggests they're moving towards making it more mainstream.
So for you listening, if you're trying to get up to speed on something quickly, how could these tools change things? Could it make research much faster, maybe offer deeper insights?
It really could. It has the potential to make navigating the sheer amount of online information much easier, much more digestible.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, we've really covered a lot of ground, haven't we?
We have. From Amazon's warehouses with Vulcan,
To those decentralized swarm bots.
then the delivery robots inching their way onto Australian streets.
And finally, AI getting woven right into how we search for information with Google.
And when you step back, you see this common thread, right? Humans and robots interacting in more complex, more integrated ways.
The lines are definitely blurring between the physical, the digital, the automated.
Which leads us to that final thought for you to consider. As these robots get more capable, more woven into our lives.
What are the really fundamental questions we should be asking? About work, about our communities.
About what it even means to be human in an age that's becoming, well, increasingly automated.
It's a huge conversation, really just beginning. Something
Yeah.
we definitely encourage you to keep thinking about.